Welcome to part 1 of 5 for the series on the SOAR EDR project. The goal of this project is to get some hands-on experience with an EDR and SOAR by using LimaCharlie and Tines. You don't want to miss out on this because this will allow you to learn how to create your own detection and response rules and create playbooks for automation. For those who complete this project, this is definitely something that you can talk about during your interviews. Just like the other project series that I have on my channel, I am certain that there will be some errors popping up for some when tackling these labs. And if that happens, I would love for you to build up your researching skills, and if you're still unable to find the answer, leave it in the comment section down below. For part 1 of the series, we will be focusing on creating our playbook workflow and brainstorming what actions we want our playbook to take. The main reason why we want to build out our workflow is to help organize our thoughts and then see what steps our playbook should take to accomplish our objective. The objective for this playbook will be to send a Slack message and an email containing important information about the detection that LimaCharlie had generated. Tines will then prompt the user if they want to isolate the machine, and if the user selects yes, LimaCharlie would then automatically isolate the machine. To create our workflow, I'll be using a site called draw.io as it is free to use and quick to access. One thing to keep in mind is that these workflows do not need to be pretty. You just need to do it and build it out. Later down the road, you can make it look pretty, especially if you are presenting this to a client. But if it's just between you and I'd rather you focus on doing it versus spending hours on making it look visually appealing. Now, before I jump into this demo, I did release the MyDFIR SOC Analyst course, which contains 30 plus hands-on labs and 5 exclusive SOC projects. If you or someone you know is interested in particularly the security operations domain, this course is designed to help students learn how to ask better questions and investigate network, endpoint, malware, identity, and cloud-related telemetry. Once you purchase it, it is yours for life and updates are free. I'll put all of the links in the description if you're interested. So I'll be using draw.io to create our playbook workflow. If you have never seen draw.io before, well, let me give you a quick introduction here. Over to the left-hand side, these are the icons that you can select. And there's just a lot of shapes that you can choose from. On the right, we have our diagram settings. So we can have our styles if we wanted to. We can change the grid. We can have it as a grid or not. And there's just some other miscellaneous settings that you can play around with. So first and foremost, let's draw a square right here. And I'll say SOAR EDR playbook. So this is going to signify the beginning of our playbook workflow. So what exactly do we want our playbook to do? I'll go ahead and open up a notepad editor. Since I'm using a Mac, I'll be using COT editor. And let's just say stories or story, because Tines' playbook is called story. And essentially, we want to create a detection in LimaCharlie first. This will detect, let's just say hack tool for now. And then once LimaCharlie detects that hack tool, we want to push it over to Tines. We'll want to send important information to our Slack and email. So the Slack and email will contain, let's say, the time, the computer name, probably the source IP as well, the process, command line, perhaps the file path as well. And just like with any EDRs, you'll likely have a sensor ID of some sort. So perhaps we'll just include the sensor ID and maybe even a link to the detection, if applicable. Now, once the message has been sent over to Slack and an email has been sent as well, Tines will then prompt the user to isolate the machine. And then they'll give them a yes or no option. If the user selects yes, LimaCharlie should automatically isolate the machine. And a message should be sent to Slack. This message will contain the isolation status with a note of the computer has been isolated. Now, if the user selects no, then LimaCharlie will not isolate. And the message will contain the isolation status with a note of the computer was not isolated. Please investigate. I think that's pretty good. Now, obviously, we can change the wording later on. It doesn't need to be this exact, but this is a pretty good rough draft. It's good to put down your thoughts and then have this as a reference. So let's go ahead and build this out in draw.io. Alrighty, so on draw.io, we have our SOAR EDR playbook. We know for a fact that we want Slack, LimaCharlie, and an email. So what I'll do is I'll use this rounded rectangle to signify that, Slack. We could actually just duplicate this, and I'll say email, and do it another one. We'll say LimaCharlie. Let's add some color here. I'm going to select purple. Email is going to be green, and LimaCharlie is going to be blue. So how this is going to work is that we first need to create a detection in LimaCharlie. So we are going to assume that the detection is going to be sent over to Tines, which makes me remember I need to add in Tines. Well, I guess Tines is purple, so I'll do purple, and Slack can be red. Alrighty, let's move that over there. So first and foremost, LimaCharlie will send a detection over to Tines. Just double click that and say detection. So our detection sends over to Tines. Tines will then send a message over to Slack. And I don't like how these lines look, so I'll just select it. So what I can do is select this option right here on the right and select straight. That looks a lot better. So I'll do that. And I'll say send message with details. And let's do an email as well. So this will be sent there. I'll change the line to straight. And I'll just copy the message here. And just as a reminder for ourselves here, I'm just going to duplicate this. And let's just say message with details contains the time, computer name, source IP, process, command line, file path, sensor ID, and the link to the detection. I'll just bracket this again, if applicable. And let me go ahead and format this just a bit. There you go, that looks pretty nice. Oh, my name is wrong. At least the A is capitalized. There you go. So LimaCharlie detects the tool, sends the detection over to Tines. Or let me bracket this as alert. There you go. So LimaCharlie detects the activity and then sends that over to Tines. Tines will then send a message with details over to Slack, and Tines will then send a message with details as well over to email. And what we're missing is the user input. So let's put this as a rectangle. And I'll say user prompt. Just drag that over there. And I'll put in, does the user want to isolate machine? And then let's put in a diamond here. So if the user says, yes, they do, then let's put that there. I'll duplicate this. And if they say no, I'll color this as green and I'll color the no as red. If it's green, then what did they do? What do they do? So if yes, then LimaCharlie should automatically isolate the machine. So what that means is that I will go up and duplicate LimaCharlie. Oh, I noticed I just misspelled LimaCharlie. Whoops. So Lima, not LimeCharlie. My mistake. LimaCharlie is going to isolate. Is there a computer here? Let's search up PC, and we do have a computer. Now again, we can always make this pretty by making the computer red. Now you might say, why make it red? Well, this signifies that it has malware installed. And LimaCharlie's there, so it detects malware. Let's just do that. That looks pretty cool. And this will say quarantine or isolate machine. Now, if the machine is isolated, what color should it be? Oh, let's just select yellow. Perfect. And I'll just say infected here. Goes over to LimaCharlie, detects it, sends it over to Tines. Tines will then send a message with details. It will also send a user prompt to ask the user if they want to isolate the machine. It will also send a message with details via email. If the user says yes, then LimaCharlie goes out and isolates the machine. And it also sends a Slack message. And this message will contain the isolation status and the computer has been isolated. Now, if the user selects no, it'll send a message over to Slack. And this particular message is going to say the computer was not isolated. And it'll say, please investigate. Nice. So if I take a look at my notepad here, I did put in message isolation status if no. I don't think we need that because the user is selecting no anyways. We should get our status. It's simply no. But then when we actually select yes, we do want to know the status of it because we want to know if the isolation was successful or not. So that looks pretty good to me. I should also include detect hack tool. And this looks a lot better. So let's run this back real quick. The user double clicks the hack tool. The computer then gets infected. LimaCharlie detects the hack tool. Then it ships the detection over to Tines. Once the detection gets shipped over to Tines, Tines will then send a message with details over to Slack. Tines will also send a message with details over via email. And it would ask the user, do they want to isolate the machine? From the user's prompt, if the user selects yes, then LimaCharlie will go out and isolate the machine automatically. Afterwards, a message will then be sent over to Slack containing the isolation status and the message of the computer has been isolated. Now, if the user selects no, then it'll just send a message over to Slack saying the computer was not isolated. Please investigate. I think that's pretty good for now. I mean, we can change this up later on down the road, but just remember that this does not need to be pretty and it does not have to be exactly what our playbook will do. Since again, it is perfectly normal to realize later on that you don't need a particular action or a logic step just doesn't make any sense. You can always change it if needed. To save this out, we'll click on File and Save, and that's it. Now we have our workflow ready to go. We will be referencing this going forward, and in part 2, we will go over how to install and set up LimaCharlie so we can get ready for the exciting stuff later on. That is it for the video, and I hope you are as excited as I am to work together on another project. Remember to stay curious and do things differently.